Eagles at Giants tonight. Jalen Hurts trying to get this offense to start cooking. So here he is talking about chefs. Take a listen.
It's like, having all the same ingredients, but having a different chef in the kitchen. I think that's kind of what it's been for us over the years. And, you can have the same ingredients and, somebody can make the same dish and it tastes different. And so ultimately, the whole objective collectively as a group is to go out there and find ways to win.
Delicious. Do you need to see a statement game from Philly?
Yeah, it would be nice, considering their opponent. But let's go with the chef analogy for just a second.
Okay.
I think other than his performance in the Super Bowls, the most impressive thing about Jalen Hurts is how many different chefs he's had throughout his career. This is my favorite Jalen Hurts stat. We can show it. He has had 12 different offensive coordinators in 10 years of big-time football, college and the pros. A different voice in his ear, at least one, every single year. That is crazy. Some of them great, some of them not so great, some of them become head coaches, some of them interim, whatever the case may be. But still, it is possible, it is on the board that they just got it wrong this time with Kevin Patullo. Like, that is on the board based on how they've played. It's early. I'm not suggesting that they're going to make a change after tonight, but a lot of people have gotten right playing the Giants. Obviously, Dak had a huge game. Javonte Williams had a huge game. Rashid Shaheed on the Saints had a massive game.
Tackle to turn the tide.
Omarion Hampton had a huge game.
Like,
if we come in tomorrow and the Eagles eked out a 17-14 win,
that's a disaster.
That's what I'm saying.
It's not a full-blown disaster as they lose, but right beneath it is a loss where the offense doesn't hum. Like a 38-35 loss might actually calm things more than a 10-7 win. Maybe I'm parsing that the Eagles' offense has no business being bad, and the Eagles' offense is bad. And that is, at this moment, inexplicable unless the explanation is what you said, which is they have bad OC. And Jalen is great behind the mic. He's so good behind the mic that at times I find him, it's a little bit like you're just walking through the home goods section of the different motivational quotes. But that to me was about as pointed as Jalen Hurts gets. Because if we're following that analogy, the chef is the OC. And I think what he's saying is, and the meal doesn't taste good anymore. It's we're all the same ingredients. And by the way, I don't think that's unfair.
No, it's not.
I think that I do think there are some limitations on a passing offense quarterbacked by Jalen. I don't think it's the most limitations. I just think I think there are some limitations to what he is most comfortable, routes he's throwing and things like that. But they absolutely need to have a normal game where it's not, jarring that they either never pass or never run. And Saquon needs to get going. That's the thing that's not Patullo related, in my opinion, is Saquon hasn't been as effective. And I'll add one last thing. I thought Brian Daboll did a really smart piece of, I don't know what the word is.
Mental warfare.
Yeah, mental warfare. When he said, he was like, paraphrasing, they've got a lot of great players. Everyone's going to want the ball. And then he added, but if you watch the film, A.J. Brown is open a lot. Like really stirring the pot on. I'd be frustrated if I were A.J. too. So there's a lot of things that need to happen. But most notably is the offense just needs to look good because they have good personnel.
Yeah, they need a statement win. Because, I'm going to point at Sirianni, who I think is a very good coach. We think he's much better. We have him much higher than Nick does because the dude is one. But Jalen, we know, is a good leader. And I think one of their major problems is a lack of leadership, and it has to be above Jalen. I'm not going to question the front office because they've obviously done a very good job there. But Sirianni has to, for a team that has been so good for so long under him, they always feel like they are this close from catastrophe. They really do. And I get that, like we talked about it last week. What other teams have these sort of, we have seen great teams, the Cowboys of the 90s, have all types of problems off the field. And they overcome them because when they get together, get on the field, they win. And they all do their job. But how many teams, like, where it's just in the locker room, stuff is always coming out. You win, and there are problems. You know, they always feel like they're a bad game from catastrophe. And again, I'm not predicting another supernatural funk, but that year, when they were 10-1, they were beating good teams. They were, they were winning close. The Chiefs, the Bills, the Dallas when they were good. Like, they were beating good teams, and every week it was just like, felt like they were inches from disaster. Yes, so that has to change, and maybe a big win here with a good offensive showing would do it.
Danny.
Well, with all the players, it should happen. Like, we can explain why the Bengals offense is bad. Their quarterback got hurt.
Yeah.
All the personnel is there. It makes no sense.
I want to see this storyline be a Saquon game. Like the other games were A.J. Brown games, Devontae games, Jalen games.
Yeah.
You know, we had a Jalen Carter storyline. This is the Saquon game. Last year, he had 176 yards and a touchdown, and he sat down and Sirianni was like, do you want to break the record? There was so much confidence and bravado with that team. And he's gone from 125 yards per game last year to 53. It's not like even you were a little bit skeptical on heavy usage, heavy yardage. You'll drop. I don't think you were expecting a 70%
I mean, right
drop.
now he's on pace for less than 900 yards. Yeah. No, I wasn't.
This is shocking.
This is shocking him, but it would have, let me add, I don't know if you agree. This is less shocking than if he were on pace for 1,700 for me. And I understand football changes and athletes change. I don't think the human body has changed enough over the last 50 years for 450 touches of tackle football not having an effect on you a few months later.
I guess so.
And every time, we always talk about the 2,000-yard rushers, but every rusher that had that type of workload, except for, was it Earl Campbell, I think.
Yeah,
right.
But his career
was short, but he at least did it back-to-back years. But Earl is dealing with it, for the rest of his life. So I expected some type of drop. I'm not shocked by this. And if Saquon can't get off today, I think it would be foolish to assume he's going to get back to anything close to last year's Saquon again this season.
Why are galaxy brain? Not conspiracy theory, just galaxy brain.
Almost everything you say is.
8 carries last week? 6 carries last week?
Oh, saving himself.
I think they have had the long view of, like, we're going to need Saquon in the playoffs.
Well, didn't they trade for Tank Bigsby, who I don't think has played? Like, they seemingly wanted to save him.
So galaxy brain that they blew a 2-touchdown lead.
They were like, you know what, we'll be over. This one backfired. But we really want that. Like, we're up big. Should we run the ball? Like, no, we've got that Thursday.
We got a Giants game coming up.
Bears Commanders. It's going to be a rematch of the famous Hail Mary game.
Danny was in my house for this and literally dropped to his knees. It's true.
That is 100% true.
Battle of, are we sure we drafted the right QB for Chicago? Danny, what's your thoughts what's on the line for Caleb if he beats Jaden this week?
A ton. This is a massive game for Caleb, for Ben Johnson, for Tyreek Stevenson, the defensive back who was jawing with the crowd, and then his guy catches the Hail Mary there. But the main thing for the narrative for shows like this is the book had been written after last year. Well, the Bears made a mistake. Jaden Daniels, maybe the best rookie season we've ever seen, goes on to the NFC Championship game, wins 9 one-score games. Man, he's clutch, he's a leader, he's dual threat, he's everything. Caleb Williams, not in terms of winning, not in terms of taking sacks, but since that Hail Mary game, he's been really good. And if you compare him to Jaden Daniels in touchdown-to-interception ratio, Jalen Hurts, Lamar Jackson, and Patrick Mahomes are the only guys better than Caleb. Last week, your guy Drake May had a bit of a coming out party in a national game that the whole country was watching. It's like, oh wow, is he gonna do battle with Josh Allen for the next 10 years in the AFC East? Like, Caleb Williams can swing the narrative because people are gonna be talking about stuff like that in front of a national audience on Monday night. He can start to make that a conversation again about the 2024 draft class.
Well, I think what's interesting about that draft class is right now, I think it's the rare class that a year and a half in, I think there are 3 different guys that you would get at least 10% of the public say he's going to be the best. I think there are
Caleb and Drake.
Yes, and it's the first top 3 picks.
And Bo Nix had 29 touchdowns last year.
Yeah, but I don't think people.
Bo is.
I don't think. Maybe this is my own bias. But you could argue Bo has been better than, in fact, statistically, Bo's been better than all of them up to this point of his career, except for Jaden. But I think that there is not a statistical argument that Drake May is better than Jaden Daniels. No. But there are certainly people that believe he's going to be the best of these 3 guys. I believe Caleb, Danny, I think, believes Caleb can still be the best of these guys. And Jaden has been the best. Most of these, there was no argument during year 2, C.J. Bryce, Anthony Richardson, who's it going to be? There wasn't argued during year 2, honestly, about Trevor's class. As disappointing as it was, I guess maybe Mac versus Trevor.
Mac
but
went to the playoffs.
but then Trevor went to the playoffs. I don't think there was much argument. Burrow was in a good class with Tua and Herbert, but I think by the end of year 2, certainly, Joe had been to a Super Bowl. It's usually pretty defined, the hierarchy, and right now, I think there are a lot of smart people who asked, rank these 3 guys who you'd want. I think we'd get a lot of different 1, 2, 3s. And I think if
Caleb would be 3rd, though.
I think
right now. Right now.
I think he would be. I think he would get more 3rds than anyone. But I also think if Caleb balls out Monday night and they win, and it'd
be interesting.
I think the recency bias of that might be a thing. But I think people would start being like, "Hey, look at these." You'd see a lot more graphics on other shows similar to that one. Like, hey, have we been too hard on Caleb Williams showing those numbers? Maybe contextless, but showing those numbers. I do think that would happen.
I agree with what you guys are saying and what you said. On national TV, this would be a huge jump. And just you're right, Drake got a huge jump from beating Buffalo on national TV to standalone game. This would be similar, but for Caleb, it would be interesting to see how he built off that because he's still last year he had some really good, strong games.
Yep.
He was on the roller coaster. And this year it's been somewhat similar. Obviously Dallas, great game. And then last week, after that, 2 weeks ago, he struggles, had a 73 passer rating, 59% completion, struggled in that game. So if he plays great, it'll help him in the moment, but he's got to follow it up and not stay on that inconsistent roller coaster. I
know this isn't the topic, but I just want to add it. I think this is a bigger Ben Johnson moment than Caleb.
I am fascinated, man. Early bye week for a team with a new coach and a team that's had a ton of pre-snap penalties and getting the play call in late and all that stuff. Do they come out and play a good game?
Well, also, you're talking more X's and O's than I am. I'm talking more almost kind of narratives. Tell me, isn't this the team that got mad because he stood him up, that wanted to hire Ben Johnson?
He was on their list.
He was on their list.
Oh.
He knew they had the 2nd pick of the draft. He knew everyone knew Caleb was going 1, and that he could have taken that job and coached Jaden if he loved him or Drake, whomever he loved. He turns that job down and then goes and jumps at the Bears job. So and he's known, since he took the job, I'm getting the Commanders after a bye week. You know what I mean? There is an element of what has Ben Johnson cooked up for this game that I find interesting.
Now it is time for a special Thursday edition of the only segment that has a large silver briefcase, and not one, but is there several or there's just one?
Thanks for watching. There are 3.
There are. I thought there was 3. I just didn't know if
I
Troy
brought-
would always come out.
No, there's only one brief. He's not asking how many stats. How many
I'm sorry.
briefcases.
Oh yeah, I thought there was. Yeah.
I apologize. That was unnecessarily hard.
okay.
Yeah, there
Yeah.
are 3 stats within one briefcase. I'm not
Got you.
Oh,
That's why I
He's
thought
out
there
here
was
walking
one.
around with
I
3
didn't- I couldn't
briefcases
tell.
like he's in the Diamond District. They're
I think they should be handcuffed
yeah,
to me.
Yeah.
Exactly.
All right, it's time now for
security.
pack stats. Here
Yeah,
we go.
thank you. I brought my stats to work today, and with great stats come great power and great responsibility. Give me my lights.
Wow.
Thank you. Stat number 1. Brew is very surprised. The first stat is 34, 4, and 13. That is the pace that Baker Mayfield is on for 34 passing touchdowns, 4 or fewer interceptions, and 13 wins. Meaning, Brew, your MVP ballot was correct. Baker Mayfield is on pace. If he hits those thresholds, it's only been done twice before by Aaron Rodgers and Tom Brady.
And they
Both
both won it.
went
Wow.
on to win MVP.
So, go ahead.
No,
sorry.
Baker Mayfield on pace for the MVP.
I think Baker Mayfield right now is a great bet to win MVP. He was on my fake preseason. I actually did this on, it's now been mentioned 3 times on the show, on What's Right with Nick Wright, very popular podcast.
Oh, subscribe.
He was my second pick in the preseason, was Mahomes then Baker, because I think they can get the 1 seed. I think they have crazy numbers. I would be absolutely gobsmacked if he finishes the year with 4 picks. I feel like at this moment he could have had 6 already.
Yeah.
Like he's gotten a little lucky with some of the dropped picks, but he makes up for it, more than makes up for it. But his numbers are, on to your point, a historic pace, and I think he can win MVP with 34 touchdowns, 10 INTs, in a 13 wins.
Yeah, it
which
needs
I
to be
think
the
is more
1 seed
likely.
for sure.
Yep.
Yeah, I mean, the 1 seed would be huge. There's so much football left to be played, and they have struggled. Like these comeback wins, most of them have been against bad teams. So why have they struggled? His numbers just got eye-popping after last week. Like before that, the numbers weren't great, but it was the comeback wins where he was clutch. So if he has to continue to play well throughout
This is
games,
a huge
not just
opportunity
at the
for
end.
him. Niners Bucks is one of the biggest games
It's a big
of the
game.
weekend.
Yeah.
Oh,
For both
KW's got
teams.
his upset alert
For
already.
both
picked.
teams. I'm just
Mac Jones.
wow, yeah, you sure
He's
did.
already got
for
it.
both teams.
No, it is. It's a huge game for both teams.
If San Fran and Mac win this game,
Still
what
might be
does it mean
hard.
for your guy Purdy, bro?
that they're just gonna let him get healthy.
Take his time.
No, they just gonna take
his time.
your time and let him get healthy.
All right, next packed stat.
Give me the lights.
Wow.
That's right. Yeah, every time. The next stat, Brew might not like this one as much, is 163. That is the most points allowed ever through 5 games for a team to go on and reach the playoffs. Your 2021 Kansas City Chiefs actually accomplished that feat going back to 1970. The Ravens have allowed 177 points this year, suggesting their defense is so bad the season is over because no defense has ever been this bad and then gone on to make the playoffs, Brew.
No, well, first of all, I would say I bet none of those teams. Very few probably have given up more than that, to be honest, in history. But they didn't have Lamar Jackson or Derrick Henry. So I think offensively, they still can be great. And not just, you guys mock me because of the culture comment, but their culture, they are not going to be the worst defense in football.
Brew, the
which is what
culture
they
isn't
are
what
right
it
now.
once was.
That's
the
true,
culture
but
is decaying
it's not
around
going
us.
to be this bad, but
Well, their
it's
defense was
horrible
bad
right
last
now.
year, and
then
then
it got going.
became great.
the
They
best
got to do
defense.
their bye week. It's going to be interesting to see if they make any changes.
Can I have a bonus stat for you?
Oh, please.
I got this courtesy of our pal Dan Lebitard, which he got courtesy of someone he saw on Twitter. The Ravens have already allowed 12 more points this year than they did all season when they won the Super Bowl in 2000. They allowed 165
Defensive team, yeah.
that year. They've allowed 177 through
what?
5 games.
That stat is so good you should send Levitard a complimentary first things first.
Briefcase?
Briefcase.
Briefcase.
I said give me another stat, and then I didn't really like it.
Okay, sorry.
You kind of walked up in my stat.
Well, it's not. That's not
Complimentary.
instructive. That's not
Complimentary.
instructive to what's going to
Complimentary
happen.
stat.
It's just wow.
All right, pack stat
little
number
guessing.
3 with the lights.
Yeah, lights, camera, stats, please. Thank you.
No, I like that. So good.
You like lights, camera, stats?
Yeah, I
Is
do
another
like
Oh, another
stats.
name. Lights, camera, stats. We got it.
Changing it. 30.7, as in points per game that the Lions have scored, dating back to when they spoiled the banner drop at Arrowhead in the opener of 2023, the most for an offense in a 3-year span since the 2018 to 2020 Chiefs averaged 31 points per game. So, Nick, I'm sorry to say, when we keep talking about is the light show coming back, the light show is now in Detroit, my friend.
Interesting.
It's the best 3-year stretch of an offense since the offense that you deemed the light show.
Well, first of all, I didn't deem it the light show. That's Brew's terminology.
My
He gets
apologies.
light
Since
show.
this
Brew, Sports Illustrated didn't say this, but Brew was the first one to call it the light show. We all know that. Listen, they have the most explosive offense in the league, and they've had for the last few years, which is why they have all the banners. And it's why they're underdogs in Arrowhead this weekend. I mean, listen, they've done an amazing job building that roster. They have great players everywhere. I give them a ton of credit. I don't know. I feel like there is still some probably unfair Jared Goff bias against considering the Lions like an all-time
When I had that graphic
Much
that they're
of
number
it fueled
one.
by you with the.
No, but the fact that they're certainly they're not thought of in the same headspace as the Tyreek, Mahomes,
'Cause they
Prime,
haven't won.
Kelsey.
Just because they haven't won.
Yeah.
They won
No, that's
15
it.
games last year, scored 31 in the playoffs.
See,
and lost
I don't
'cause
think
their
it's
defense.
just not just because they haven't
Really?
won, because some of our favorite offenses ever also haven't won. The 98 Vikings with Moss and Carter and Randall, the 07 Pats, they didn't win at all during that run. I really think it's a Goff bias, which is people think he's good, but not the force behind one of the most prolific offenses ever.
He has the most passing touchdowns in the NFL the last 3 years.
I know. That's what I'm saying. I don't even think it's necessarily a
But
fair
he
bias.
isn't viewed as the.
He's not
force.
right. He's not
He
viewed,
isn't.
and
You know
he's
what
not
I'd be
viewed
worried
as
about
guy.
that? They've been so good. Ben Johnson.
You'd be worried on the Bears side of it.
Yeah, a little bit. It's like, hold on, this thing works without Ben Johnson, the genius?
They have not missed other than obviously
Green
the
Bay
first game. They haven't missed the beat.
And they
Yeah, but
got
Ben Johnson. I feel like Ben
clever
Johnson's
stuff.
doing a good job though thus far in Chicago.
He's doing a very good job.
Very good. Might even be stronger than I would say.
that
But I
is
think he's doing
stronger.
fine. It's
Very
not like
good,
maybe they're both.
But if I was a Bears fan, I would feel better if the Lions
it had
defense
fallen off.
got-
100%.
Bill Belichick. This story, man, there are reports of investigations into recruiting violations, which are underway. Ali Connolly, who broke the original story that Bill Belichick was going to North Carolina, he is reporting now that Belichick has discussed buyout options, saying per sources, Bill Belichick has discussed buyout options with North Carolina's hierarchy. Belichick has signaled a willingness to trigger his own $1 million buyout if he can find a soft landing with another team or media. He quotes defensive coaches. There's all sorts of reporting around this. It is a huge story. Do you think Belichick lasts the season?
Well, right now, no, because Ali Connolly, who I trust on this, and like you said, broke the original story, said he thinks this could be over within a couple weeks. He also says that he has talked to coaches on the North Carolina staff that are looking for jobs with teams that they expect to be in the college football playoff this year. So I think it's up in the air whether or not he lasts the season. I think it is guaranteed that he is not the head coach there next season, which to me means Bill Belichick's coaching career is over, which is unbelievable. Danny, we were discussing whether or not post-supernatural funk, the Eagles should fire Nick Sirianni to hire Bill Belichick. And by the way, they were discussing it. The owner talked with Howie Roseman about should we make, I think I have that right, should we go after Belichick? Then nobody hires him. He goes to North Carolina, and 5 games in, it seems like he's giving up. And that is surreal.
So I said on this network when this story first came out that I did not believe it. I thought I would never see him coaching college football. It felt beneath him.
When the original story that he was going to Carolina.
When the original story that he was going to Carolina came out. And it struck me as, and everything that's happened since has struck me as someone who took a job that he didn't really want to take. Because it's just all of it feels petty. We can't tweet about Drake May. The Patriot scouts can't come here. I'm going to release a statement about what the Crafts said in some interview. Firing people and not really doing all of the little minutia that it takes to run a college football program. He doesn't seem to feel any shame in any of this or any embarrassment, which is an amazing trait for a performer or a stand-up comedian, but not for an all-time Mount Rushmore coach. So I don't think this is going to damage his legacy. I know you disagree on this. I think in 10 years, when you and I are doing this segment, we're going to say, who's the greatest coach of all time? He's going to be one of the first names mentioned.
Oh, I think it'll be one of the first names mentioned, but I think now, let me put it like this. I don't think in 50 years, this is a big part of his story. But in 5 years, it could be if all of a sudden Andy Reid has ticked off another Super Bowl or two, has passed him in wins, and there is a debate about, who is the greatest coach ever? I think it is hard to go backwards in legacy, but I think we saw Russell Wilson did a little bit. If Russell Wilson had retired instead of going to the Broncos, I think he's held in higher regard. This has been mortifying for Belichick.
Do you think he is mortified by it?
I don't know the man. I would imagine probably not, but I don't know how relevant that is to the fact that he has failed in an epic, historic way. And to just be so out over your skis and to have this level of embarrassment surrounding your personal life as well and have it be that public it's really unlike anything that I can remember. And it is shocking to me that it has gone this badly this quickly.
The reason I find that just a little relevant is because it seems like a lot of this is fueled by ego. And they got a quote, Alec Connolly, from a current defensive assistant, what we've done to these kids is effed up. Just everyone is abandoning one of the greatest coaches of all time 5 games into this thing.
Well,
that is...
But the other thing Ali reported was his own coaches couldn't get a hold of him during the bye week.
Sounds like a guy who's doing a job he's not all in on.
Yeah, I guess. Or he's not... It's been a very long time since he wasn't good at something. And I think in New England, at the end, he blamed the not being good at it, be it on the Crafts, be it on Mac Jones or the court, whatever. There is no one to blame but him and his buddy Mike Lombardi.
Right.
You know what I mean? And the level of hubris from these guys. We're going to be the 33rd team, all of it. They're averaging 13 points a game against Power 5 opponents, can beat by more than 3 scores. It is crazy it could be over this quickly.
Yeah, just hang around, Bill, until you can get boat raced by Syracuse in a couple of weeks.
Please.
That would be a great moment for our football program. Breaking news into frenemies. Shams Charania is reporting that LeBron James is going to be out 3 to 4 weeks with sciatica. Opening night coming up in just 12 days. Warriors at Lakers. You see it there. He is out for the start of the 2025-26 season.
Yeah, I'm only laughing because, the audience is just going to have to take my word for this. But this is such a guy who's in his early 40s, old guy type of injury. I asked my wife 2 days ago, I was like, what is your sciatica? Because I think I'm having pain in it. So I was like, is it your tailbone?
Nerve.
Like, what is it? Lower back? I'm not sure.
Is LeBron a side sleeper? I want to know.
And so there's one of 2 ways to look at this. One is okay, he's going to have an injury-riddled year, and this is disastrous for the Lakers. The glass quarter full that I will call half full way to look at it is the best case for the Lakers is LeBron only plays around 60 games anyway. And to have
but you want
to
some
miss
of those
time
games
early.
to be, you want him to be resting to rest, not resting to recover.
No, of course. And so I don't think, because they have Luka, I don't think this is a huge deal. And again, the other optimistic way to look at it is if there was any question about how Luka was going to become the focal point of the team, you now have the beginning of the season to get it done. But the guy's in year 23. He's turns 41 in December. Like, stuff like this, I think, is just going to happen.
Yeah, it is a middle-aged injury. You know, I've had a lifetime of back issues, and I would just say, like, once you start having back issues, they don't tend to go away, and sciatica can go down your legs, whatever the case may be. But this is the type of thing that can be treated with surgery. It is the type of thing that can linger. So, like, hearing that LeBron James, who played 70 games last year and has all of those miles on him, now has this type of injury. Obviously, I'm not a doctor and I don't know the specifics of his diagnosis, but I'm just saying, like, the glass half empty one is we will also have, LeBron needed to have some maintenance on this 3 months from now.
Oh, yeah, listen, I would imagine, yes. And LeBron is... I am there for the big moments. Like, LeBron has never not been available on Christmas. You know,
Right.
He's playing on every Christmas. Opening night is obviously one of those things. Also, LeBron is a guy who, right or wrong, cares might be the wrong word, is certainly very aware of the 65-game threshold for accolades.
Right, he played 70 last year.
Right, and wants all those accolades. Like, that's part of the legacy. So this is, if he's missing opening night, which this report is he is definitively missing opening night, it's a real thing. And obviously the Lakers' only path is LeBron and Luka are both excellent in the postseason, and Ayton, you know, gets to who he could have been early in Phoenix. So this is not a good sign. It's better than any type of, in my opinion, like groin issue, hamstring, knee, those types of things I think are more likely to linger than just this. But it's not the news the Lakers wanted, and it also explains why he hasn't really been participating in the Lakers preseason. I couldn't figure out, like JJ said today, he's on his own timeline. So something was going on. We now know what it was.
It wasn't business related or something like that. It's clearly an injury. Maybe you get your Luka MVP bets in? Like best shape of your life, Luka. I know he's already one of the favorites, so it's not like there's a ton of value, but this is a great opportunity for Luka to, like, hey, when LeBron comes back, we've got a winning record.
Also a great opportunity for Austin Reeves to bounce back from a really tough playoffs as a second option, which is where he's more comfortable. Thanks for watching. Subscribe here to get more from the show and to check out clips from other shows on FS1.